Hello guys, this is a full guide on how you can completely cure your IBS, coming from someone who used to have really bad IBS. So to give you some background, I used to have to go to the toilet 5-6 times a day. I wouldn't be able to go a whole day at school without having to go to the toilet because I'd be in that much pain. My stomach would be making weird noises in lessons to the point where it was so loud people were looking at me. Like as in, they'd think I'm hungry because my stomach was rumbling. But it's not, it's because it was like, I felt like it was cramping like all day. I'd have trapped wind a few times a week, and that like I'd actually be in pain. I nearly cried one time because it was hurting so bad. What else did I have? Yeah, and I would never have like a normal toilet. It would either be diarrhea, constipation, like no in between. So, and the first thing that I went on, so this is my first point, never take any medication for your IBS. I know you might go to a doctor because you think they're going to give you the magic answer. You need to address the actual problem, which is your diet, because obviously it's your gut. So whatever you're putting into your body is going to affect your gut. And a lot of people try to ignore it because they think it's unfair. And oh, my friends eat KFC every day, they're fine. Or they eat sweets and chocolate every day, they're fine. But we all have different stomachs, and depending on what you've had in the past, it's going to affect your stomach. Obviously, I don't think you can be born with IBS, but your stomach can be more sensitive and then worsen over time from what you're eating. So never take any medication. And an example of this is I used to be on Movicol because I didn't know anything about this. And Movicol essentially makes you just be able to go to the toilet because I wouldn't be able to go a lot of the time. Like sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't. So I'd take that every day. It tastes disgusting, by the way. And it helped for a bit. But then when I came, so it helped for a bit, and then gradually things got worse and I had to take it more and more often. So then I was essentially relying on the Movicol to have like a normal day with my stomach. And it wouldn't be normal, it'd still be bad. And then when I tried to come off the Movicol, so much worse. Like the symptoms I had was much worsened. So then I had to have a sit down with myself and think, if I keep staying on Movicol, on this medication to try get rid of my IBS, it's only going to get worse because symptoms weren't getting better, it's only getting worse, and I was using Movicol. It's kind of an excuse so I didn't have to fix my diet. So yeah, I had to really have a think about it, and I did make the decision to come off Movicol, obviously, which is why I'm making this video. And I'm not going to lie, it was quite rough initially, because that messed up my stomach even more as I was relying on it. And then I started to address the actual issue, which was my diet. So what I personally did first was I went on to a cooked carnivore diet. So I was cutting out vegetables. I didn't even have fruit. Literally just meat, butter. I didn't have any milk. Well, yeah. I'll talk about milk later in the video, but literally just meat. And this mostly solved my issue, but then it did cause constipation, and you are cutting out a lot of the bad stuff. Like, it's kind of the next best step, but I knew it was getting better, but it wasn't quite there. So then I decided to move on to the raw primal diet. And this is where, me personally, I follow a Jonas, and the best place to look into this is on ajonas.net. And a little hack for that, go to ChatGPT, do deep research on ajonas.net. Then anytime you have a question, just ask it on there and it will literally scan the website for you. But anyway, I've written some stuff down here just so I don't forget anything. But the reason, because when you hear raw meat diet, you might think that sounds crazy, like I did initially until you start looking into it. So I'll give you a few reasons why the raw meat diet actually works. So the main irritants that you have, and this is in most people, is grains, cooked starches, and pasteurized dairy. And vegetables as well, because they are indigestible fiber, which is why it's just going to cause issues, bloating, etc. Vegetables genuinely don't go well, because if you think about it, this is a good example I like to use. If you was in nature, right, you wouldn't walk along and you was hungry, you wouldn't go eat the leaves off a tree. You might taste it if you didn't know anything, but it wouldn't taste nice, you wouldn't eat it. It's not going to do anything in your stomach. It's indigestible, essentially. Indigestible fiber. There's a lot of antitoxins. That was probably a terrible example, but we move forward. So once you've removed these irritants, already your stomach's going to start feeling better. But then it's a process of healing your gut after that. So obviously you've got rid of all of the bad stuff, and then along that comes with getting rid of everything processed, seed oils, etc., which are going to 10x how bad your stomach is. Like, you really don't understand when you compare it to the raw meat diet, because that's the most natural way you can eat and how we all should be eating. Let me just get my list up again. So again, you're probably still thinking, that sounds stupid, which it is fair enough if you haven't looked into it. The only way I can really say you'll understand it is to try it yourself. Because me personally, back in the day, if I saw someone walking around eating raw meat, I'd be like, what are you doing? Just cook it. But you really need to do your own research and try it for yourself and see how you feel afterwards to really get a sense of why you would do it. Otherwise, you'll never understand it, because it's such a foreign thing to do. So the way the raw meat diet heals your gut is you're feeding your gut bacteria, and you're feeding it with the live enzymes from the food, because you're not cooking the food anymore, so you're not killing any of those live enzymes, you're not killing any of the probiotics, prebiotics, and they're all living. Everything's living that you're feeding your stomach. The bacteria you get is good. For example, kefir is promoted as good for gut health, which it is because of the live enzymes in there, the good bacteria in it for your stomach. You're feeding the good bacteria in your stomach, and you're making everything better. You're healing it. You're healing your stomach lining. Everything's improving. Because when you're cooking your meat, you're killing all of that. So all of the benefits that you could be getting from the raw meat, the raw milk, this is raw milk, pasteurized milk, they're a different thing, because all pasteurized milk it's been boiled essentially. But that's getting rid of all of the benefits from it, which is why it's upsetting your stomach. Because if you're having raw milk, then, because I used to not drink milk because I used to think I was lactose intolerant, but I have raw milk and I'm fine. I can't have normal milk that upsets my stomach, but raw milk I'm completely fine with. And that's because the same reason, it's got living enzymes, it's healing you. When you have it pasteurized, all of the good stuff is cooked, it's gone. It's all been killed. Same with meat, when you're cooking it, you're killing all of the good stuff. Now the next step of the healing process is you'll have detoxes. So it can happen in different ways. For example, you might have a headache, or you might be sweating a lot at night, you might have a fever, and that's your body pushing out all of the toxins to help heal itself. You might have some diarrhea sometimes. I personally haven't. I've had no diarrhea from doing this diet, but you won't have a detox the whole time. I'm saying you'll have stages of going through detoxes, which is where your body's getting rid of the toxins and you're becoming healthier overall. So it's a good thing. And I mean, that's really all I can say as of right now. I've tried it for myself. I've been on the raw primal diet for 41 days now, personally, and my stomach has never been better. Like, the amount of stuff I've tried to heal my IBS, and this has been the only thing that's properly worked, that should be enough kind of proof for yourself. But the main message you should take away from this video is you need to actually act on the issue, because when you go to a doctor's, all they're going to give you is some medication, which over time is going to make you worse. For example, let's say every time you have a headache, you take some paracetamol and ibuprofen. It's only going to make things worse over time, because you're starting to rely on that. Your body should be able to get rid of the headache naturally. You shouldn't be using medication to mess with what's happening inside your body, because you're making yourself weaker. Same with vaccines. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give me some more video ideas down below. Comment if you're going to try it. And if you need some help, I've got a Telegram community where there's like 160 members now. So you can just ask in one of the chats, I'll help you. Or someone else in there will help you. It's really useful. It's all free, obviously. I'm not going to charge anybody. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow my daily videos, because they're on my shorts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's it. Thanks for watching.